Hello, everyone out there in internet land, and welcome to Tavern Talk. My name is Jalen J. Perez. Just call me Jay. I play as Orion Thane, but I'm here to talk with you about our last session. Considering if we dealt with a killing battle, we fought some possessed guards, a mage, and a water spirit. I believe the name was a Nadine. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that, but I'm pretty sure our game master's gonna tell me in a couple seconds. But so
Naiad.
far, so far, I'm feeling pretty good. I got most of the damage done while getting shot in the face with a giant water bending technique right to my face, and I'm still alive. Yay me! But let's see how everyone else feels. Brent.
My name is Brent Andrew Scavenge. I play, I forgot my name, Xavier Advani. Uh, that's gonna keep happening. I already know it. I'm gonna mix it here. Oh well. Anyway, um, yeah, it's been, that first combat was very interesting to see. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen next, but just some different ways to maneuver and get yourself an advantage or be able to get through the fights. It's gonna take some getting used to, being used to D&D, but I can't wait to see what else happens. I mean, that uh, it's just, you gotta watch it. Abby, what are your thoughts?
Hey guys, I'm Abby. I play as Kaya Visbagen, and I don't feel like I did too terribly much, if I'm being honest, the last fight. I really didn't. At one point, I just completely ran off to the tent after I realized that it wasn't the Naiad controlling everybody. So, I mean, Kaya's feeling okay. She didn't take a ton of damage, a little bit, not a ton, but I mean, everybody else is okay, so that's good.
Hi guys, I'm Chris, as you should know by now. I play everyone else. I'm the game master. Um, but going off what you said, Abby, you did, Kaya did go off a little bit, and that actually kind of worked to advantage. For a little bit, the druid was a little bit focused on you and not on these two, and so it allowed them to deal with the naiad first. Eventually, he did come over, and all three of you made quick work of him. But that was good. That was really good. Um, I told you guys before. I was firmly of the thought that you guys were going to kill the druid. In my mind, I was like, yeah, they're going to take him down. He's done. Which would have made what happened afterwards much more difficult. But I'm very surprised you guys didn't, and I'm very happy that you guys didn't. Um, I know that over the course of past couple sessions, there's been some instances of thinking these characters are slightly not exactly on the realm of good, maybe a little bit like rough around the edges, morally gray. I think that's the word I want to look for best. But it's kind of interesting to show that even a guy fighting you guys, even a guy actively trying to end you, you guys saw fit to give him mercy because you realized he was controlled. But he actually wasn't. And I think you guys did notice that, I think, during the fight or maybe shortly afterwards, you guys realized that he actually wasn't charmed. But ultimately, I mean, that was very interesting. I'm curious. I don't think any of you and your characters have ever killed like an intelligent being before. Am I correct?
Nope.
well, before the freaking water spirit, no. I mean, hunted probably for my character, but no.
Yeah, it's you guys have all killed animals and beasties and monsters before, but this is the first time it's been an intelligent creature. So how are the characters feeling specifically about that aspect?
I mean, for Zavi, it's a mixed bag. He does have a vendetta against whoever is has caused this upheaval in his life. Um, Part of him wants to kill them. Part of him wants to just make them suffer. But he doesn't see the need to, you know, take anyone else out in the way unless they are trying to actively end his life as well. And so I don't think he felt that in that instance. If anything, he would have been able to survive, but he would have been made to help out with the ritual. Is what, especially after being controlled that little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, seeing Orion kill that creature, I don't know if Zavi really understood what she was, and may have seen it more as a less of a human or an intelligent being, and more of some magical creature. So
I would say for Orion, considering what we were going up against, he knows, even before this battle, he knew that, considering what happened with the Ringmaster and the fact that his entire life has been upheaved to the fact that him and his friends have been framed for murder they did not commit, and there was everything that's going against them where people are hunting them down on false convictions. He understands as the protector of the group, and he knows he's the muscle. He's gonna have to kill one of these days in order just to make sure they are safe. So he kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, he doesn't want to just kill people just out of it. He knows that he would rather take that decision to a point to see, all right, if we have to kill, we're gonna have to kill, but if we can avoid it, please do so. In this instance, he saw what that Naden, or I'm butchering the name. I know I'm butchering this creature's name, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see in the comments where they're saying everything. So keep at it. But he knows in his mind, considering what he just saw, where his friend Zabi went under control, to where he saw all these other guards and people were under control like zombies. He knew that he didn't want his friends to come into that situation where they're under control, they're going to be doing things they don't want to do, and they could be doing a lot worse in the end.
I was not under control. I was just being very friendly to her. She was nice. Okay?
She couldn't make Bobby do anything he didn't want to do. And it would be unsafe or unrealistic. Maybe some stuff you didn't want to do. She probably would have made you join the ritual. Anyway, sorry, Jay.
Oh, don't worry. But it's where, at that point, he is on alert, especially once when you see what we did, considering he was watching Adhere, watching everything he did, what he was trying to do, what we saying, and it was like, he was trusting Zabi. Should we actually trust this guy? Or, because he still has faith in his friends, and he still trusts his friends, because they're going through this whole ordeal with him. And that's the important thing that he's keeping in mind. He's not in this alone.
Now, I'm curious, Abby, you and I have talked at length about Kaya. Kira from. About Kaya. I feel like out of all of them, Kaya might have had the least hesitancy if push come to shove. But, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that would have been the case. I don't think she would have had any qualms with killing the Naiad, and possibly a Yuri if he hadn't chilled out. I mean, she grew up with stories from Mim about the Treasurers Guild, and I think she fully understands that if it comes to a situation where it's you or me walking away from it, she's gonna pick herself.
Yeah, that's
Mentioned
kind of what I was thinking.
no spoilers or anything, but she's got some friends that she's probably she's definitely seen get into bar fights before, so I really don't think she would have given it a second thought.
Yeah, but overall, I think you guys handled that situation very, very well. You guys fought very well. I will full on admit I probably could have been a bit tougher on you guys, but it's the first fight of the campaign. I didn't want to throw the book at you and make it unfun. I wanted to make this seem interesting. Um, so, I mean, going forward, all bets are off. You're dead meat. No, I'm not going to do that.
Send in
Well,
the
greatest main character.
dragons. Send in the dragons.
You want dragons?
Greatest
I'll make
second-
dragons.
Oh, there's always
Create a
gonna be
second,
dragons.
Third, fourth, fifth character.
Yes, have a slew ready. Let's get this going. No, quite frankly, I've said this a couple of times to you guys, some of you guys over time. I'd rather not see any of the characters from this game die. I like all the characters, and I think this is a really interesting dynamic. However, I'm not going to make the statement that it's impossible. I know there are some GMs that won't let characters die. They'll do anything in their power to keep it from happening. I'm not gonna do that. If you guys make dumb decisions, you make dumb decisions. If the fight is a little bit overwhelming, it's the luck of the dice. Luckily, Pathfinder Second Edition is really good at balancing encounters, and so I have I have all the faith in the world that when building stuff for you guys, I can make it so that it's not overly challenging, but not super easy. I want your fights to have challenge, and I want them to be engaging and interesting. But I'm rooting for you guys. As the GM, I'm not. It's not my goal to stop you. It's not me versus you guys. It's more like I want, because if you guys all go away, if your characters die, the story dies with them, right? Even if you all made new characters, they're not going to be invested in the story the same way your three are now. And so, yes, I am inherently rooting for you, but I'm not going to save you. But overall, this was a really good first Fugly campaign. I was very excited to do it, and I'm glad you guys seem to enjoy it as well. But I'm curious, what your guys' thoughts are about what happened afterwards, the whole ritual situation, and the whole reason the Naiad was there to begin with. I'm just curious what you guys thought of that. Did you like it? Did you feel funky? What's your opinions? Anyone?
I'll start off. I felt like an idiot.
Oh.
As soon as I felt like led to Druid speak, alright, he knows what he's doing. He had to be smart enough to set this all up technically for the experiment. Especially once he told us he was approved. It was like, alright, I got the Druid with me. I got the spellcaster. He can definitely convince you guys. No, failed horribly. It's just like, I think you need to take over, buddy. I am not the guy that talks. I'm the guy that points the sword with the pointy end into things. What do you think I do? I just immediately failed that. Like, the ritual was definitely difficult. There's no doubt about that, considering we had to figure out, alright, who did what to what did they use, and how do we figure out how to unchain this whole mess of events where no one's just shooting us right in the face with either magic or other stuff once we found out there was other mages under the spell. I was just like, okay, this is, where's the part where we just smack them in the head and unconscious them? What happened to that plan?
Yeah. All right. You guys, anything? You guys?
I just thank goodness we left Ahiri alive because with my roles was having, there was absolutely no way I was gonna figure this out on my own. Like there was
They're
no
not
way.
liking you. I don't know why, but they were not
No,
a fan.
I even pre-rolled with them and everything. I picked the
You,
6th highest and like
you gotta test
no,
them
they
out.
were
I
not.
mean,
They didn't. I mean, they weren't rolling that good, but they were rolling higher than my other ones. But thank goodness. And I got to use my manacles, which was,
the manticore.
that's always fun.
The flippin' manticle.
Alright, full disclosure, everyone, those that are watching, I thought she actually put like glasses manacles, and I'm saying that like as like librarian glasses.
Like a
So
monocle.
Ryan kept on thinking, yes, or at least like a librarian glasses. Like when she said manacles, I was like, alright. So she's putting glasses. Like I know Kaya's character is a chaotic gnome, so I kept on full disclosure. I thought she just put glasses on a guy and just sat on his chest. I was like, I don't know what kind of power move she's doing, but I trust her. So I was just entirely confused. I did not realize she was chaining him up with actual handcuffs on his hands.
I keep thinking of that, the visualization of this 6.5 foot tall elf, all bound with rope, laying on the ground, and then some little rainbow gnome walks up to him and goes, "Take this!" and sticks a monocle, like a Monopoly Man monocle on his face. It says, "Now."
I can also just see Orion where he sees them get put on, kind of goes, "What are those? Manticles." And you just see this internal struggle in his head where he's like, "I thought those were glasses."
That was my face entirely throughout that session. As soon as she said that, I was just like, I'm just gonna go along with this. I'm gonna just shake my head. Yes, yes.
And I
This
think
is
that's
happening.
more interesting is that if that were reality, Orion would be like, "Okay, I'm here for this. It's weird, but I'm here for this." That's even funnier.
I'm just glad Brent managed to stay with the freaking cat lady or cat folk, considering what happened, what we found out about her. That they came in clutch.
Yeah. Brent, what did you think about everything? You haven't gotten a chance to give any comments yet.
I liked the fact that after the combat ended, it didn't just magically poof, that was the answer. That you ended the combat ended, you took care of things, but you had to continue on and solve the actual problem at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times in like video games, things like that, you go through the combat session, the final boss, whatever, you defeat them, done. You don't have another challenge, you don't have to solve something. You may have to take something back to somebody and finish a quest, but that's it. It was really a little bit more interesting, just having to be like, oh well, wait a second, there's more here. We have to stop this because it didn't just right up. Although now that I'm thinking about it, there was a body. Maybe it just combined with the water all over again.
Oh, the Naiad, yeah. Who knows?
We get back to town.
Yeah, I know what happened.
We get back to town and they're like, yeah, this body washed up too. What happened here? She was the issue.
Are we just forgetting about the 3 giant lizards that just died also? That are just gonna show up in the river too.
That was natural causes.
What? Well,
that's subnormal natural causes.
I'd say they died more of exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hungry and dehydrated, and they didn't have any sustenance, and they just withered away. It was also supposed to make you guys feel like, oh shit, are we gonna get into a fight in the middle of the night? But You know.
Oh, I
No.
thought that. When you said that, I was just like, oh. Now we have to fight them in the middle of the night. We're not gonna be fully rested. You know, this is gonna be fun. But no, we just kept quiet, kept hitting. Smart thing to stay off of the main path and just, off to the side where people wouldn't notice. Where things wouldn't notice.
But I'm overall glad of how you guys handled the entire session. I think you guys did a really good job with the story at hand. I was a bit hesitant with Ahiri. I didn't want it to be completely reliant on him because I didn't want him to have to do things you guys are supposed to be doing. I hope that he didn't overshine, wasn't overbearing or didn't overshine or anything. Because you guys are the players, you're the important ones, not the NPCs. Yes, you interact with them, but it's your guys' story. You're the stars. And so I was glad that, I could try my best to make it that way. I was just afraid I didn't do it well enough, but I see head shaking, so I feel better. This is also a very mechanic-heavy session. There's a lot of stuff going on, multiple different things at once. You had your first fight, which has a lot of stuff embedded in it, and then all the spell work and everything, all that stuff layered over one another. That's a lot of stuff, and so that's kind of why I want to gauge your guys' reactions, and by extension, all of you guys, in the comments, please tell us what you guys thought as well, because I just want to make sure everything's fun and interesting, and I want to follow these books as best as possible. And what afterwards? You guys are now the partly saviors of Scioto. Obviously, it's not going to be overnight that everything gets fixed, but you guys have helped a great deal, and that should feel really awesome. You guys have fanfare upon your return, and you're going to start off the next session with a really important conversation.
Kai is getting to ride a centaur around town at this point.
That's
Uppy
right.
count is up to 2 now. 2 uppies so far.
Well, actually, I think 3, because didn't Orion pick you up again at the inn to talk to the innkeeper?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
oh.
I did.
3. We're up to 3.
Do you actually have in your book a tally mark every time you get picked up?
Yes.
The little book she just writes it in. One more.
I'm only 3 feet tall. I need some help.
That's true. That's true. Anybody have anything else to talk about the last session? Anything you guys are expecting this session maybe as well? Any thoughts?
My thoughts. This is one of the interesting things. How are we going to deal with the idea of, all right, people are starting to notice us. Do we even have a name for ourselves, or are we just going to go by our names? One of the things you never think about is what's your adventuring party's name, and that kind of just goes through your mind. It's like, oh crap.
It's always fun getting that name. I've played games where I've had the name given by NPCs, if the DM or GM has given the name. I've had some that we've created our own. So I'm curious to see if you guys do get one. I guess it depends. You guys could. No one said anything yet. No NPCs have made anything. So if you guys want to, next time somebody says, "Oh, you've been a big help. Who are you guys?" You can be like, "Hey, call us the Blah," and it might catch on. Make sure it sounds good.
It may be something that we don't really say, and then after 2 or 3 things happen, and we go somewhere and somebody recognizes us, we can correct the name and make the name that we want. Kind of thing, I don't know. What's the one from Deadpool? Where they all Deadpool 2?
X-Force?
X-Force, yeah.
Yeah, it was X-Force.
Maybe something similar to X-Men. X-Force. I will say... I will say, you 3 are supposed to be maintaining somewhat of You know, small presence. You know, keep low profile. You are, to your knowledge, being searched for. I mean, you don't know if it is or is not happening. All you know is from Aldenary you started, they were looking for you guys, but who knows if there's anyone coming now.
We would not want to call ourselves something that would relate to either where we're from or who we are.
Man, I was gonna recommend the tentless. If you don't have a big top tent. Guess I wouldn't.
I was gonna go
That's
simple
their
on the
name,
circus
too.
trio.
The circus trio. Don't give me
We should
ideas.
be we,
It's an
we shouldn't be
NPC.
known
Looking
by
for the
anybody.
clown trio.
We
Oh,
gotta make
that,
sure that we are not known. What do you guys go by at the circus trio? That
At
way they're
least-
looking for the clown trio, but we're the circus trio, completely different.
hey, as long as we avoid copyright infringement, I'm okay. That's the biggest deal right there.
Oh no, we're stealing the name. She came after us, we take the name.
Well, you guys got some fun stuff to get into this session, so I am looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the conversation you guys have with the heads of the government. You guys are immediately going to start off with a conversation with the local city lord, and then the prefect. And the prefect is the person who is in charge of the entire prefecture. All the continents are split into prefectures. To give some context. But there'll be more context whenever I start filming a series specifically talking about Inglyria. That's going to come soon. As soon as I plan out how I want to do it. I don't want to overload you guys with information. However, you guys are going to have that conversation, so I'm curious to see how it's handled. In other news, anyone else have anything to talk about?
I mean, I got a friend visiting the city, but I mean,
In Pathfinder news, we have a new book coming out soon. We have the TNZ World or Character Guide, and it's coming out in a couple of days from now. Adding in a few new ancestries, adding in some new feats. Specifically, a lot of it's going to be fighting feats. Different techniques for like takedowns or disarming techniques. I know those will be included. I think there's 6 new ancestries coming. If you don't know anything about TNZ, TNZ is a continent on Solarian, which is the setting that the books are published with. We're using a different setting. TNZ is very, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, like that kind of feel. A lot of referencing from there. And a lot of the ancestries are going to be similar to that. Like one of them is going to be a tanuki, a raccoon dog, basically, anthropomorphized raccoon dog. And I know that one of the feats, I think, is called tea kettle form. I think I saw that as a spoiler. And allows you to like change forms. And like you can make yourself into like a little inanimate object. I do believe. I'm not sure exactly. I need to get my hands on the book to read it, but they're interesting. I will tell everyone now. A lot of those ancestries are probably not going to make it into the campaign. They will probably get included later on, once they have room to make sure the lore of Inglyria matches the lore of what's being printed, so that it doesn't feel clunky. I don't want it to feel forced into. I've already taken all the ancestries which are current as of right now, Howl of the Wild included, and put them in there. But yeah, so just in case anyone's curious, you might not see some of those ancestries. But once we get a better look at that book, we can see what all might fit in here. You guys might be able to take some pieces yourselves from that book. But I'd also recommend reading Player Core 2. It's really cool. The Monk Remaster is pretty boss. Investigator's really good. However, I think that's all the interesting stuff going on with Paizo and Pathfinder at the moment. Anybody else anything they want to chat about? Or anything we can get into some other stuff tonight?
I'm all good.
All right. Jay, you want to sign us off?
Yep. Like, comment, and subscribe for more at Tavern Talk.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Thanks for
Take
watching.
care.